In this video, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of living in Phoenix, Arizona. You're going to want to stick around to the end because the last con is something that nobody ever really talks about, and we're going to share that with you today. So we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good, the bad of living in Phoenix, Arizona, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Greta, and my partners Christina and Ann and we just love helping people just like you make their move here. So whether that's 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email. All of our contact info is below. We'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Phoenix, Arizona. All right, well, we're sitting here out at the zoo today, and it is a gorgeous, I don't know what's the high today gonna be. It's April, the end of April, and it's 85, 86 degrees, and we're gonna talk about the pros and cons. What do you got for us, Ann?
Well, my favorite pro is the weather and what that begets with 300 plus days of sunshine a year is the ability to go outdoors. And that includes mountain biking, hiking, cycling, horseback riding, and boating. And in the Phoenix area, you can do all of those. With the largest urban preserve in the United States at 41,000 acres, you can't go wrong with every morning walking out your door and picking a different hike to do.
I love it. That's a great pro. That's why we moved here, right?
That's why we live here.
we live here.
Yep.
Love it, love it.
What about you?
Well, this may seem like a bit of a strange pro, but for me, it's Arizona is they're on standard time, not daylight savings time. We're only one of 2 states that do not have daylight savings time. That's Hawaii and Arizona. Oddly enough, I've lived in both of them, and perhaps I really do love standard time. It's just a natural way. Once again, with the weather, that pro from Ann, being outdoors, you wake up with the sun and you end your day with the sun going down, and it fits in perfectly with our outdoor life here.
Those are great cons, or great pros. I think a pro for me is the economy and the job growth here. It's really strong, it's varied, making it extremely attractive for professionals, especially in trades like construction and healthcare. Warehousing is a huge industry here. The projected job growth for our city is 43%, which is much higher than the national average. National average is 30% for future job growth out. Companies like Amazon and Microsoft, they're opening up more offices here. We've got the I-10 corridor that runs through the center of Phoenix, which makes warehousing and distribution a very large industry here in Phoenix. And you've got the microchip plant, technically in Phoenix, manufacturing chip plants out there. And Sky Harbor is one of the largest commercial airports in the nation. So all of those things makes Arizona and Phoenix a very business-friendly place to be. So we've got just a great economy here. Outlook is great.
We do. I'm gonna stick my next pro in there, if you don't mind, Annie, because it kind of hooks into Greta's. And it's the growth in Phoenix. We're already at like 1.6 or 1.8 million residents here in Phoenix, and they're predicting that it'll get to 2 million in the not too distant future. So it's a great time if you're thinking about moving here to get a place to live or a second home. Go ahead and settle down here for a while. It's a great place to live. No guarantees, of course, but a good investment for you with the growth coming. We're up actually almost 7% from last year with the housing, the median sold price for housing here. So come on.
Go ahead, Brett.
Well, I think mine plays right on that. Is we are increasingly more diverse in our population in Phoenix. Niche.com rates our diversity in Phoenix at an A+ rating, and it's also rated number 6 in the most diverse places to live in Arizona. Which, yeah, I mean, that makes it a really great place to live for people coming here, young families. Just get better every day.
Yep, love it.
You do.
Love it. Well, my second pro for Phoenix is unique in all the other cities that surround it, and that is the ability to live in a historical property. And what I mean by historical, over 100 years old. So if you're someone that comes from the East Coast and is used to that, enjoying living in a historical home that's built in the early 1900s, you can find that in Phoenix. Is also irrigation properties, only in the Phoenix area. And those irrigated properties irrigate once a week at about a foot deep, and it only costs $100 a year approximately. The trees, your plant life is humongous because of the ability to irrigate once a week and slow water. So those are things that people look for in the Phoenix area that you cannot get in the surrounding suburbs because they're newer.
Do you irrigate yourself?
I don't irrigate. You have to be down off of Central Avenue in Phoenix, and we are built on the township principle. And so Central is 0, and we go out from there, avenues and streets, and 1 mile streets north and south. But the Central Phoenix area is known for irrigation. It's known for the homes that are historically pre-1955. And so they're beautiful. And you get special connotation because you live in those, the Coronado, the Willow District. And people desire those areas, and they're beautiful. People keep them up, remodel.
Oh, yeah. I'm jumping in on that again, Annie, because listen, that is a huge pro for me, Phoenix. These historical districts, once again, I've lived in one before. They are spectacularly gorgeous. We have at least 22 historical districts, and like Ann said, they all kind of run off of Central, different neighborhoods. A lot of young families are moving in there, young professionals. Once again, like Annie said, they're designated historical. You can do remodeling, but it needs to be along with the guidelines of owning a historical property. There are bungalow styles with huge front porches. The garage is in the back. There's Monterey styles, Tudor styles, and a lot of the downtown kind of areas built around these historical home districts are being revamped, reworked with new restaurants, and people are walking around, going to restaurants, going to shops. It's all up and coming. They are great places to live. A little side story with those old neighborhoods is there is a street named Lewis Avenue. It runs through, especially the Willow District, and that is Ann's grandfather, my husband's grandfather, and Greta's great-grandfather. This street was actually named after him. These houses are built in 20s through the 40s, and Captain Curly Lewis, who the street was named after, he lived here in Arizona for 78 years, and he was very instrumental in the canal system, which we'll get to in another video, but just great family history. And once again, we have lived here a long time, generations of our family.
That's true. Well, I'm going to go with pro number 3, affordable cost of living. Now, you might say statistically, it is not, but I'm going to go ahead and lay the story that it is an affordable cost of living. So, hear me out, okay? Statistically speaking, cost of living here is higher than the national average. Typical home is $413,000, which is 22% higher than the national average. Cost of living is 13% higher than our national average. Okay, we have a higher quality of life because we have 300 plus days of sunny living, which allows you to get outside and enjoy a more active lifestyle. Also, so Phoenix is the 5th largest city metropolitan area in the nation. So when you compare us to the cost of living in other similar sized areas, particularly other cities that people are moving to Phoenix from, such as LA, New York City, okay? When you compare the cost of living to those cities, you are talking about a 35% less cost of living here in Phoenix than you would be in those similar areas. So statistically, according to the national average, yes, we are higher. According to other similar sized large metropolitan areas, much less cost of living. So, and when you combine that with the outdoors that you're able to enjoy year round, now your quality of life has gone up. So I'm going with cost of living.
I would agree with
I
that.
like that too. Huge pro.
And you know, to play upon that, when you're comparing, my top third pro plays along with the fact that when you compare us to other major cities, San Francisco, Chicago, New York, we have all of the professional sports, right? We have the NBA right downtown in Phoenix. We have our Diamondbacks baseball team right across the street from the basketball. And so if you're one of those that just loves going to those kinds of sports, Phoenix is your town.
And we're national, we're good. We're
Yes.
We're ranked. We're ranked. We're really ranked. I was there when we won in 2001 with the Diamondbacks. I remember that last hit by Gonzalez. I remember that.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about, look, I like the sports, I like the nightlife, I like the restaurants, but oh, wait a minute. The next day I can go out and hike a mountain? Phoenix beats everybody, and the cost of living, you cannot, Chicagoans, Seattleans, San Francisco, New York, this is your town. And if you don't know it, you need to come out and check it out.
Yep. I'm there. Well, with that, guys, let's jump into the cons. Because we got to talk about them. Because there are some.
There are some. It's
Christina, go.
Well, it's hard for me to find cons, but I'm gonna do once again weather. We have no extreme weather, but you always have to talk about the weather here. And I am totally with Ann in that it is a super pro. It can be a con, aside from the heat. We all know about the heat, and you do have to get used to that. You have to be wise about that. Get up early in the morning and hike in the summertime. There's parts of the summer that you don't want to go hiking even in the morning. As Annie can attest, she saved my life before hiking. You can get dehydrated really quickly and not know it. But aside from that, if you're looking for 4 seasons, you want the snow. If you're looking for drastic changes in the seasons, they're not going to be here. But we have seasons, and the longer you live in the desert, the more you notice them. They're just different. We actually kind of have 5 seasons here instead of 4 seasons, because we have the winter that's January to February, and we have the spring, which is February to April. We have dry summer, which is May through June. Then we have the wet summer, which is July through September. And then we have fall, and we do have leaves changing color. So we do have seasons, but it is a con if you want the snow.
If you want to shovel snow.
You want to shovel snow. This is not the place for you.
So con number 1 for me is transportation walkability. So for a city our size, again, 5th largest city in the nation, our mass transit does not stack up. I'm going to say 3.3% of the population in our city take mass transit. When you compare that to an LA or a New York, it fails grossly. Okay?
You need a car.
You need a car in Phoenix. There's a few reasons for that. We do have buses. We have a pretty healthy bus system. It does run. It runs all over. But Phoenix is a sprawling city. We are not compacted onto an island like Manhattan. So yes, in Manhattan, 55% of the population takes mass transit. Okay, that's great. You're on this island that runs, Phoenix is a sprawling city. We don't have that. LA, I think, is 9 or 10%, still a lot, but LA is more similar to Phoenix. It's sprawled out more. So we don't have that. But our average one-way commute is about 25 minutes for Phoenix. Not too bad, I'd say. It's not walkable, though. Phoenix is not a walkable city. You are not, for several reasons. It's 120 degrees. Not always 120, but it is over 100 degrees for 3+ months out of the year. You're not walking. Well, you're not. Heat plays a role in that. You're not walking around. So transportation is an issue. We need a car. That's just the facts, and that's okay. Just know that you need a reliable car.
And I would say that my con, because there aren't many living in Phoenix, but that would be the con, is that you have to drive. And in the winter, when the snowbirds are here, the traffic's pretty good. And when spring training is hopping, it can be the traffic's there. You're not, if you're used to having traffic in Chicago and Seattle, you'll get a flavor of it here as well. It is certain times, it's not 24/7 like in some of those cities. But that, if I had a con, which there aren't any, really, there aren't any for me personally.
Yeah, pros far outweigh cons.
And I would say, having lived in some of those cities, traffic is nowhere near those. Our city planners do a fantastic job in anticipating growth, but it exists, and you better have a good radiator.
Yes, you do need air conditioning. I guess. Though I must say, and Christina and I grew up here, we didn't have air conditioning in the house. It didn't exist. So we rolled down our windows like everybody else.
4x7.
Yep. But we survived.
Yes, we did. It's doable.
It's doable. Yeah.
It's all good.
All right.
Are you guys out of cons?
I don't have any cons.
Guys.
I'm sorry, I don't have any.
Buckle up, because I got 2 more.
Okay. Well, we need to know those.
All right. Water scarcity concerns. Everybody wants to know about it, and you got to talk about it. It's not just special to Phoenix. It's exists in the Southwest. We are a desert, and but the great news is nobody plans for water like the state of Arizona. We are a planning and management visionary when it comes to water. We always have been. We have water supply projects. We are an innovator, and we have drought preparedness. We have been in a drought for a decade or more, but we have things that prepare us for that. Some of those include underground storage. We require all projects to prove 100-year supply requirements before they are allowed to break ground. Because of that, we have stored underground 3 trillion gallons of water underground storage.
Name one state that's done that.
We are, and because of all of the conservation and proactive things that we have done here in Arizona, so Phoenix has grown to 1.6 million, did you say? And I don't know what the state population is, but our population has grown like this. We actually use the same or less water than we used over 50 years ago here in the state of Arizona. That's how prepared we are. So is it a concern? Yes. Do you need to conserve water? Yes. Are you, out power washing your driveway? No, ma'am, you are not power washing your driveway, but we are prepared and we are ready. We are not going to run out of water. So don't worry.
Yep.
It's
Don't
okay.
worry.
Yep.
It's okay. My third one I mentioned, stick around. People don't talk about it, but you got to talk about it. And it's crime. Phoenix has a higher than national average crime rate. You can't shy away from that. There are places that you can do your research as a consumer. We can help you with those resources. It is actually a much higher than national average. According to bestplacestolive.net, they have a rating scale that they use for crime, 100 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. Phoenix gets a score of 37.5 for violent crime. The national average is 22, so it's considerably higher. For property crime, the national average is 35, and Phoenix gets a score of 52. So we're up there. Does it mean it's a bad place to live? No, it doesn't.
These are all facts that you should look into. All the pros and the cons. When you're looking to move to Arizona, we'd love to have you here.
Well, guys, I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons here. I hope you found this helpful. With that being said, check out some of our other videos to find out more information about living in Phoenix and the surrounding suburbs. And when you're making your move to Phoenix, be sure to give us a call, shoot us an email or text. We'll be happy to help you make that smooth move to Phoenix. See you guys soon.